A lot of people consider Ohio State to be a quarterback bust factory, and despite having some pretty talented players such as J.T. Barrett, Dwayne Haskins, and Justin Fields over the last few years, the Buckeyes are looking for their next star quarterback. Going into 2021, there was a three-man quarterback battle between Jack Miller, incoming freshman Kyle McCord, and the presumed starter CJ Stroud. Everyone thought Stroud was going to be the guy, but Ohio State fans have been hit with the ultimate curveball as Quinn Ewers has decided that he's going to reclassify into 2021 and attend Ohio State this fall. Well, this is a problem. Some people might say it's a good problem, and it might be kind of a bad problem. I'm going to offer my opinion on this quarterback room, what this means for Quinn Ewers in Ohio State, and at the end of the day, who I think should start. But right before we get into that, please be sure to subscribe, as nearly 80% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that button, as it really helps. Now let's get started and talk about the 2021 Ohio State quarterback room. So the first player we're going to talk about is CJ Stroud. He had a pretty tough upbringing in California, but that did not stop him from balling out on the field. He threw for nearly 6,000 yards during his junior and senior year combined, and had 47 touchdowns in 13 games as he led his team to the state semifinals. He performed super well in camps and would become a 5-star recruit because of that. Scouts compared him to Teddy Bridgewater during the recruiting process, and he'd eventually choose the Buckeyes over the likes of Georgia, Michigan, and Baylor. 24/7 Sports had him as a high 4-star recruit, the number 2 pro-style quarterback, and the 42nd best player in the class of 2020. He came into 2020 as the backup to Fields, and in a game against Michigan State, he went for a 48-yard touchdown on his one and only play, showing his potential as a player. Stroud had this to say, quote, "I'm just going to go in there and work, put my head down and just work, and when I look up, I want to be on top. But I'm just going to let God handle it, and I'm not worried about anything." He has a super inspiring story, and I will definitely cover him as a player soon. It looked like he was going to be the starter for 2021, but now things get interesting, and let's meet the other 3 candidates. Well, let's first start with the other quarterback that Day would bring in the 2020 class, Jack Miller. Miller was born and raised in the state of Arizona, and he got an offer from Ohio State as a freshman in high school. You could say his career fell off by the time he was a senior, as he was not a 5-star recruit, or even a top 100 player for that matter. He committed to Ohio State and never wavered despite them also signing CJ Stroud. When he did commit, he was a top 50 player, and was seen as one of those guys who could become a 5-star, but for some reason he fell off. Well, when you take a deeper dive into it, it was because he suffered 2 injuries in his last 2 years of high school. First, it was a torn MCL, and then it was a separated shoulder in high school, and then he also messed up his back right before the Elite 11 camp. According to 24/7 Sports, he was a low 4-star recruit, the number 13 pro-style quarterback, and the 334th best player in the class of 2020. He did not see the field last year, and this is what Jack had to say about OSU bringing in another quarterback. Quote, "They told me they're going to probably offer somebody else and take somebody else, and I told them, take whoever you want, I'll beat him out, I'm not worried. I love competition, I love competing, that's really what I strive off of. That type of setting, so I'm excited to get up there. It was never a question whether I was going to go to a different school." Urban Meyer showed a ton of loyalty to him back in the day, and Ryan Day has high respect for him as well. Day said, quote, "Jack is somebody that has been committed all along. He was loyal from the get-go. I watched him throw when he was 16 years old, and I saw something in him, and he never wavered. I think he's got a chance to be a really good player." At 6'5", Miller had a strong high school career in which he threw for nearly 10,000 yards and 115 touchdowns, and he'll bring both a strong arm, a competitive drive, and natural athleticism. As a fun fact, he also considered playing golf at a super high level, but he ended up playing football. He could have been a professional on the green, but he is going to be taking his talents up to the east to Columbus. The next option is another blue chip recruit who's a true freshman who I thought it was on the outside looking in. Kyle McCord was an East Coast quarterback who played for St. Joseph Prep, and he emerged as one of the top quarterbacks in the 2021 class from the very beginning. He put up electric numbers in his first 3 years of high school, but his team only played in 2 games his senior year due to all the stuff going on, and I think that could potentially set him back in terms of winning the job. There's no doubt that the talent is there, as he was considered a 5-star recruit, the number 3 pro-style quarterback, and the 25th best player in the class of 2021. Kyle had this to say, quote, "Assuming Justin leaves, having a chance to compete for the job early on is pretty special. There's not too many schools of Ohio State's caliber that have that kind of opportunity sitting ahead this offseason. That's something that's extremely attractive. I think because of his high school season and the experience factor, McCord will be the 4th string guy for right now. I think he'll end up redshirting in 2021, but he will get his chance later on. Out of those 3 guys, CJ Stroud was likely going to be the starter, Jack Miller was going to be the wild card, and McCord was going to be the dude for the future, but now we throw in Quinn Ewers. Ewers is one of the best high school football quarterback prospects in history, and he was going to make Ohio State elite. Many people thought that this quarterback room of Stroud, Miller, and McCord was just a placeholder till Ewers got there, but for Stroud and them, they at least thought they had a year to prove themselves. Now I'm a little bit concerned that they're just going to give Ewers the nod right away, and it's really going to be a competitive battle. Despite Ewers being behind right now, we all know he has the talent to catch up, and at any moment, Ryan Day will yank any of those guys for the best player on the field, and he will not be afraid. Ewers took to Twitter today and had this to say, quote, "Over the past few weeks following Texas UIL informing me I would be prohibited from profiting off my own name, image, and likeness, I've taken time to think about what lies ahead of me, both in the short and long term. It's unfortunate I've found myself in this situation, as my preference would have been to complete my senior season at South Lake Carroll, along with the teammates and friends I have taken the field alongside for the past 3 years. However, following conversations with my family and those I know have my best interest in mind, I decided it's time for me to enroll at Ohio State and begin my career as a Buckeye. This is not just a financial decision, this is about what is best for my football career. At 18, and with one final class about to be completed during my high school degree, I feel it's time to get that jump on my college career that is available to me. I'm eager to start learning from Coach Day and the rest of the coaching staff. I understand many will have their opinions on this matter, but only my loved ones and I know what's truly best for me and my future. This is not a decision I have made without a lot of thought, and to my fellow Carroll Dragons, I will cherish the memories we made together. Although I won't be there on the field with you this year, I will be rooting for you. You're my teammates now and forever. Go get that state championship. To my family, friends, and everyone who has provided their unconditional support, I will strive to make you all proud in the future. See you soon, Columbus. Go Bucks." That is what Quinn had to say, and while many will say this is purely a financial decision, I see Quinn's eagerness to get to college. There's not much more he can do, and he could potentially get hurt this upcoming year and lose out on millions of dollars. He'll definitely sign a gigantic NIL deal with someone, and I do believe he'll have the talent to compete and potentially start right away. In case you aren't super familiar with Ewers, he's the #1 overall prospect in the class of 2022 and was the highest rated quarterback since Vince Young. In 2 years as a starter at South Lake Carroll High School in Texas, he threw for nearly 6,500 yards and 73 touchdowns, and he was actually injured part of the time. The biggest knock on him is that he did not win the Texas 6A state championship, as he lost to Clemson commit Cade Klubnik. A source close to Ohio State broke this news earlier today, and apparently he will arrive August 3rd for their camp. As of right now, I think it's going to come down to Ewers and Stroud, and while I do believe Stroud is in better position right now, if Ewers does show a little bit more potential and the race is as neck and neck as it can possibly be, I wouldn't doubt to see Day give both quarterbacks a shot, and it'll come down to who performs best in that Week 1 game or that Oregon matchup. What do you guys think, though? If you're an Ohio State fan, what do you think of this news? Who do you think will win the job? And what do you think of all of this? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section. Give me your guys' prediction for the 2021 season. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new here, and check out all my other videos on the end screen, including my video about what happened to Malik Hooker. I hope to see you guys again soon, but until next time, peace.